Good evening, and welcome to Brick Memorial High School's 39th commencement ceremony and first ever virtual commencement ceremony. I hope you enjoyed watching our processional, which contained a video produced by our very own Class of 2020 officers and the playing of Pomp and Circumstance by the Brick Memorial High School Band under the direction of Mr. Andrew Penrod. Next, I would like to ask you to please rise for the singing of the National Anthem, which has been recorded by our senior chorus members who have performed under the direction of Mr. Kevin Bettis for One Last Time as Mustangs.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts re-watched with so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare upon bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and home of the brave?
Welcome again. Before we continue, I'd like to recognize some distinguished members of our school and district community. Our Board of Education President, Mrs. Stephanie Woolrab, and all of the Brick Township Board of Education members. Our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Thomas Farrell, and all of the entire Central Office Administrative Team. My building administrative team and all district administrators who work with us here at Brick Memorial High School. All of the teachers and staff at Brick Memorial High School who have been here teaching, coaching, advising, and supporting our graduates these past 4 years. Among them, a special shout out to Mrs. Clapp, advisor for the class of 2020. And I would also like to thank the parents and families of the graduates watching this evening, and of course you, the graduates. To say that this year has been a bit of a whirlwind would be the understatement of the century. And I know that none of this would be possible without the support of all of the members of the Mustang School community. Through our work together, I'm constantly reminded of how lucky I am to have the privilege to serve as principal of this great institution. And now, to my graduates of the class of 2020. When I write a speech for a culminating school event, honoring our students, I always try and keep two things in mind. First, and most important, know your audience, and then accordingly, keep it short. I will try and do that now. Second, convey your wishes. What is your hope for the students as they embark on the next chapter of their lives? To say that the class of 2020 has endured its fair share of change and adversity over the past 4 years is an understatement. As a simple example, when you began your journey as freshmen, I was your assistant principal. To be able to confer your diplomas as your principal 4 years later is an honor that I feel truly blessed to have. And while I hope you've experienced this change as a positive one, it still is a change. Of course, the most significant event to affect you as students has been the COVID-19 pandemic itself, which has, to one degree or another, impacted every single aspect of our lives as students, teachers, parents, administrators, and humans in ways that we never imagined would be possible. Never in the history of modern public education have we experienced anything so significant, and of course, hopefully, we never will again. You have had a front row seat to this event as you have been on the precipice of your journey from a structured childhood organized by bells and classroom walls to the first steps of a lesser-known adulthood where you must find your own path and create your own structures as you build your own lives and families. As your high school journey came to an end, you missed out on the myriad of traditional year-end events that signify and close one chapter of your life and set you out on another. And because of this, I and the entire school community will forever remember the class of 2020 as the class that didn't get what it deserved near the end. But we will also look at you as the most resilient group of students that we have ever known. When one thinks of the number 2020, the thing that most quickly comes to mind is clarity of vision. My wish for you, my class of 2020, is that the rocky waters you have navigated these past 4 years have given you the skill of reflection. That as you continue to mature as adults, that you are able to find pause in the rocky waters of life, look at what is happening around you, mull over where you have been and how you came to be in the place that you are, and are therefore able to appreciate the journey and make thoughtful decisions about how to proceed. Albert Einstein was quoted as saying, "Adversity introduces a man to himself." If this is true, then all of you must be the most socially and emotionally mature students we have ever graduated. Learn from these experiences you have had, particularly those of the past few months, and become stronger. For as the saying goes, if you're not growing, you're dying. Embrace the discomfort that life often presents. Look to your mentors and loved ones to continue to support and guide you. Strive for a life of fulfillment, for if you continue in this vein, you will one day realize and appreciate that it really is all about the journey and not the destination. Thank you. At this time, I would now like to introduce our next speaker this evening, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Thomas Farrell.
Welcome parents, family, and friends, Board of Education members, administrators, staff, and especially the class of 2020. I want to remind the class of 2020 something that I said at their senior awards ceremony. No one does it alone in life. So let's take this time to recognize some of the people in our lives who helped you get here today. They've worked hard to give you everything to pursue your dreams and fulfill your goals. Many times we can't see how important something is until we can't find it or it's gone. So I want to tell you a story about a nomad named Ahab. Ahab wandered into the desert for a few days and was lost and trying to get out of the desert when he saw a mirage, an image. And the image told Ahab, I want you to turn back and go back into the desert, and over that third sand dune, you're going to find an oasis with running water and all the fruit and nuts you can eat. And he said to Ahab, and have faith in me, Ahab. When you get there, you're going to see all these gray rocks. And I want you to take as many gray rocks as you possibly can. Load up your saddlebags with as many of them as possible. Ahab thinks he's a little crazy, but he figures he has nothing to lose. So he listens to the image, and he turns back into the desert, and he's now crawling up to that third sand dune, and he sees the oasis, just as the image said. So he sprints down to the oasis. He drinks all the water he could possibly drink. He eats all the fruit and nuts he could gorge himself on. And he's now sitting content and relaxed under a palm tree, resting up, ready to leave the desert. And he looks out and he sees miles and miles of gray rocks. And he remembers that the image told him to take as many gray rocks as he possibly could. So he reached out and he grabbed one gray rock and he put it in his pocket. He took a nap, and hours later, ready and relaxed to leave the desert, he gets up and he looks out and there's no more gray rocks. He remembers that he took one gray rock and put it in his pocket. So he reached in his pocket and he pulled out a diamond. And the moral of the story is simply this, that right now, what you hear, what you get from your parents, teachers, coaches, what you learn in Latin class, physics class, algebra class, it may just appear to be a bunch of gray rocks. And with age and wisdom and years, you'll realize that it all is a bunch of diamonds. In looking at this class, the one thing that held constant was change and overcoming adversity. Let's look at all the change they've gone through since they entered high school. Their class has gone through tremendous change in the world, politically and socially, change in their community, change in the schools, change in themselves. And lastly, change from a brick and mortar environment with much interpersonal interaction to one that is virtual, with social distancing. Heck, who even knew what the term social distancing meant until a few months ago? This is what they see as their constant, change, our new normal. This class had to persevere and overcome adversity during this recent COVID-19 crisis. But all through this change happening all around them, overcoming adversity and persevering through this pandemic, this class quietly went about their business. All this without the fanfare and attention. And please don't let the lack of traditional celebrations diminish your achievements. No complaints, no fuss from this class, and no one would have blamed them if they were angry. But that's not what they did. You raised your sights, you aimed high, and you invested in yourself and your own successes. It's no accident that most of you are continuing on in college. It happened simply because you worked for it. You earned it. All this while the world around them and everyone else in it changed and struggled. And no one would have blamed this class if they got discouraged or lacked motivation. But that wasn't the case. I want the class of 2020 to recognize one very important point. Throughout all this change and in spite of much adversity, you still succeeded. You never made excuses, so don't start now. Don't make excuses. Take responsibility not just for your successes, but take responsibility for where you fall short as well, regardless of what's happening in the world around you. This is the message and the legacy of this class. This is your constant, not change, not adversity or crisis, but rather your response to it. Understand that change and adversity and crisis will always occur. Be brave enough to recognize this. Be confident enough to persevere through it. Be bold enough to lead during it. And lastly, be astute enough to learn from it. Understand that your successes in life won't be determined just by what's given to you or what happens to you, but rather by what you do with all that's given to you and how you respond to all that happens to you. True excellence only comes with perseverance, and you have clearly demonstrated this character trait over the last few months. And now you have the confidence that goes along with it. Today is your day, and you deserve all the attention and fanfare. I congratulate you and your family. I congratulate the class of 2020 and all the successes you brought to Brick Memorial High School, our district, our Brick Township community, and your parents and family without expecting much in return. I wish the class of 2020 good luck, and I hold each and every one of you accountable for your own future.
Thank you, Dr. Farrell. I would now like to introduce our next speaker this evening, Brick Township Board of Education President, Mrs. Stephanie Wohlrab. Thank you, Mrs. Wohlrab. I would now like to introduce our next speaker this evening, the salutatorian of the class of 2020, Druhin Patel.
Hello teachers, staff, administrators, family and friends, and class of 2020. Today is a day of celebration. We have reached the end of our journey as students at Brick Memorial High School. 4 years ago, I was here, sitting in the bleachers attending my brother's graduation. Back then, I thought that would take ages until I would be the one wearing a cap and gown and graduating high school. Even during freshman year, when all the seniors would say how quickly high school has gone by for them, I did not believe them, and I'm sure many of you did not as well. However, here we are, 4 years later, graduating. So, how would the time at Brick Memorial and anywhere else have been worthwhile without any challenges? Imagine if everything in life was easy with no obstacles in the way. At first it may sound wonderful, but in reality it will make life feel uninteresting. Facing and conquering challenges is what builds our experiences and makes achieving goals even more worth it. While you may not have always found success, at least you will not feel regret at the fact that you didn't even try. At Brick Memorial, we've had to go through a plethora of obstacles, whether it was waking up early and getting to school on time, taking that really hard test, or trying to pass a class, as well as going to sports practices and trying to improve as an athlete. However, as we all know, this year has not gone the way we expected. We had to face a global pandemic in the midst of our senior year. making March 13th, 2020 the last day that we walked in the hallways of Brick Memorial High School as students. Due to this, we were also stripped of opportunities we had eagerly anticipated, such as playing in our senior year sports, attending senior ball, and even having a traditional graduation ceremony. Instead, we were greeted each morning with hundreds of Google Classroom notifications. Despite this setback, we have managed to stay strong and worked our way through to reach this milestone. All these challenges have not only made up our high school experience, but have also helped us become the people we are today, and allowed us to proudly say we graduated high school. Also, we were lucky to have had a dedicated group of wonderful teachers helping us along the way. So I'd like to thank them for all they have contributed to our success and for putting up with us over the years. Also, I'd like to thank all our parents and family members for being with us and continually supporting us throughout our journey. Before I go, I want to say this to my fellow graduates. As we all head off on our own paths, we will have to face even greater tests. We should continue to push through and strive to achieve our goals. We will never know what we are capable of until we take that step and face any challenges that life may throw at us. I know that each one of us has the potential of achieving great success. So as we all take the next big step in life, I wish nothing but the best to everyone. Congratulations, class of 2020. We did it. Thank you.
Thank you, Druhan. At this time, I would like to recognize the honors graduates of the class of 2020. Honors graduates are students who have worked diligently over the course of their 4 years at Brick Memorial High School and have earned a cumulative GPA of 94 or higher. Congratulations to our honors graduates. I would now like to introduce our next speaker this evening, Class Advisor for the Class of 2020, Ms. Sherilyn Clapp.
Good afternoon, parents, staff, administration, Board of Education, and most importantly, graduating class of 2020. The microcosm of high school is over, and your real life is set to begin. Face it with a brave heart and an open mind. You are the author of your own story, so make it one that you will love to read in years to come. As the chapters of your life unfold, you will face both success and adversity, extreme highs and extreme lows. It is at these pivotal times that you need to stop, take a deep breath, and remind yourself that you are stronger than you think and braver than you know. You can either be a passive victim of circumstance, or you can be the active hero of your own life. The choice is yours. No matter what direction you choose to set your sail, be it towards college, the armed forces, a trade school, the workforce, think of your interests and passions, not just the salary. Sure, money's wonderful. We all know that. But the opportunity to get up every morning and make a living doing something you truly love, well, that is priceless. As you venture out into the world trying to find your place, remember, your time is limited. So don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Don't be reckless with other people's hearts, and don't put up with people who are reckless with yours. A wise wizard once said, "Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, when one only remembers to turn on the light." So never let anyone dull your sparkle or try to extinguish your flame. Nurture the fire within you at all costs. Stay true to who you are and relentlessly pursue your passion. I am beyond humbled and proud to have served as your senior class advisor for the past 4 years. I wish you all the very best and urge you to go out into the world and leave your indelible mark. Accomplish incredible things, soar to unfathomable heights, and make your story one for the history books. You've already gotten a jump start. Now run with it. Thank you and congratulations, graduating class of 2020.
Thank you, Mrs. Clapp. At this time, I would like to recognize the following students whose postgraduate plans are to serve the United States of America with their enlistment in the armed forces. We thank you for your service and dedication to protecting our freedoms and this great country of ours. I would now like to introduce our next speaker this evening, President of the Class of 2020, Miss Olivia Costello, who will be attending Montclair State University to study criminal justice and psychology.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Class of 2020 graduation. It feels so unreal to say that right now. Just 4 short years ago, we stepped foot into this huge place and thought it would last forever. I stand here today looking at all my peers with happiness and shock that we are graduating today. We all put a tremendous amount of effort to be where we are today. However, this day is not all about us. First, I want to thank our class advisor, Ms. Clapp. You have taken us in as freshmen and have watched us grow into the individuals that we are today. You have helped plan every event and truly are one of our biggest supporters. Throughout our 4 years, we did not thank the people enough that have given us the unconditional support and the ones who have helped us every step of the way. I can say that I could not have done this without the support and education from the staff and the love and push from my parents and the reassuring support from the community in this hard time. We have been faced with a life-changing pandemic that no one has been faced with before. Tonight means something different for each of us, but senior year has been different for the entire class of 2020. It has come with many obstacles, and at the start of this pandemic, it was filled with much uncertainty, and it has been a season of terrible losses. People have lost their lives, their families, and are grieving. Others have lost their jobs, their savings, and their plans for the future. But with all bad comes good. The class of 2020 is now one. We have celebrated College Acceptance Day together online. We now know everyone's dreams and their next steps after Memorial. Social media has become our network. We have reached out to one another and been there for one another in a time of need. We've experienced life under a mask, and we are prepared for anything. We have grown to lean on each other and help one another. We have had a time to grieve and be down, but it is our time to celebrate what we did in these 4 years. We all need to realize the successes and the things that we have done at the Memorial. Each of us have changed a life, each of us have passed a class, and most of all, each of us have reached graduation. I look around at all of you, and I notice that all of us are the future. We are the new innovators, the motivators, the leaders, and the new caretakers of the world. I see you all and I smile. Each of you has a gift. Each of you will be able to contribute to the world. We are strong and we are unstoppable. No other class can compare to the hardships, boundaries, and steps that we had to take to get where we are today. But we got here. We had the best student section in the Shore. Our drama club had sold-out shows. The marching band is the Atlantic Coast champions. Gymnastics won another A-South title. And our volleyball team is second in the state. It is these successes that makes Memorial as great as it is. The world is not ready for the class of 2020. This was unpredictable, but in the end, it was right. I hope you had the time of your life at Memorial. There's so much gratitude and appreciation that goes out to the staff at Brick Memorial. These adults have helped me make these monumental events occur and have helped shape us be who we are today. They have helped us find our future careers. Thank you. To the parents and guardians, thank you for your tender love, devotion, and care in this hard time. You have been with us for the heartaches, the successes, and the big moments. You know what it feels like to be in our shoes. Thank you. Thank you for being patient, loving, and kind in this time of need. You have raised us to be the strong, fearless young adults that we are today. I want each of you to remember your successes at Brick Memorial as you continue into your careers, into the workforce, colleges, and the schools, or if you are serving in this great country that we live in. Remember the events you participated in, remember the supporting events you went to, and remember the hours you stayed up studying, and most of all, remember the friendships that you made at Memorial. Although it seems so small now, these things are what you will remember for years to come. So let us raise our heads and tip our caps and go chase our dreams. I want to say that I've enjoyed every moment serving as your class president, and I want you to know that no matter how far you go or where you travel, always know that once a Mustang, always a Mustang. Finally, to all of our graduates that sit before me, to whom I share many memories with, I hope that we end this chapter of our lives and we're ready for the next. I wish you all the best, and I will forever be grateful. Thank you, Memorial.
Thank you, Olivia. At this time, I would like to recognize students who are members of the National Honor Society. Students who have a cumulative GPA of 94 or higher are invited to apply to this prestigious organization in their junior year. In addition to academic excellence, students must also demonstrate character, service, and leadership to be considered for admission. Once a student is accepted, they must maintain a 94 grade point average and continue to demonstrate dedication to the school community through volunteerism. Congratulations to our National Honor Society graduates. At this time, I would like to recognize graduates who are members of the French National Honor Society. The French National Honor Society provides an opportunity to recognize outstanding scholarship in the study of French. The French National Honor Society is an organization whose intent is to recognize high school students in the United States who have maintained excellent grades in at least 3 semesters of French language courses. In addition to immersion in French courses, students should maintain academic excellence in all French courses and participate in community service opportunities while serving as a member. Congratulations to our French National Honor Society graduates. At this time, I would like to recognize graduates who are members of the Italian National Honor Society. The Italian National Honor Society is a national organization whose goals are to recognize students who have achieved excellence in the study of Italian, as well as to promote a greater understanding and appreciation of the Italian culture and civilization. Members of the Italian Honor Society must maintain academic excellence in at least 3 semesters of Italian courses, participate in community service opportunities, and maintain attendance at monthly meetings. Congratulations to our Italian National Honor Society graduates. At this time, I would like to recognize graduates who are members of the Spanish National Honor Society. The Spanish National Honor Society celebrates those students who have maintained academic excellence in at least 3 Spanish courses. In addition to maintaining their GPAs and immersion in multiple Spanish courses, these students must also participate in community service as part of their commitment to this organization and achievement in Spanish. Congratulations to our Spanish National Honor Society graduates. At this time, I would like to recognize graduates who have earned the Seal of Biliteracy endorsement while at Brick Memorial High School. This is the first graduating class to include students who have earned their Seal of Biliteracy. The Seal of Biliteracy opens up opportunities for those pursuing higher education or joining the workforce. As the world increasingly becomes more global, the need for employees with bilingual and multilingual skills has increased. The students listed here have demonstrated proficiency not only in English, but at least 1 other language. Students were assessed using the 4 domains of language: speaking, writing, listening, and reading. The New Jersey Department of Education, after looking at each student's score, determines eligibility and ultimately issues the Seal of Biliteracy. The biliteracy emblem has been placed on each of these students' transcripts to indicate and celebrate this accomplishment. Congratulations to each of our Seal of Biliteracy recipients. At this time, I would like to recognize graduates who are members of the International Thespian Society. The International Thespian Society recognizes, rewards, and encourages student achievement and celebrates the work of students in all aspects of theater performance and production. Congratulations to our International Thespian Society graduates. This year, we are proud to graduate our very first class of Brick Township STEM Academy students. After acceptance through an arduous application process, students in the STEM Academy work through an extremely challenging course load over all 4 years at Brick Memorial High School. Their prescribed studies are designed to prepare them for success in the most prestigious post-secondary STEM-focused institutions. In honor of their journey, the STEM teaching staff have produced the following video in celebration of their past 4 years.
In 2016, the Brick Township Public School District instituted the STEM Academy program with a unique mission: to provide an educational experience that emphasizes the study of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics within a public school setting. A cohort of high-achieving students with similar interests was selected to participate in this program to develop STEM skills needed to compete in a demanding global economy. Over the past 4 years, that cohort of students has evolved into a group of truly amazing young adults. As a teacher instructing in both high schools and now serving as the district program coordinator, I've personally witnessed this pioneer class tackle innovative projects, investigate the world around them, represent their schools in numerous competitions, and make plans to continue their higher education. I know this path was not always easy for these students to follow. They've experienced multiple changes in their course sequences and program requirements, in addition to all the unforeseen challenges this past school year created. It has been truly amazing to see these students handle all those challenges in stride as they persevered through them together as classmates and friends. Whether the class of 2020 realizes it or not, their experiences have helped shape the STEM Academy into the competitive program it is today. They have set high expectations for what it means to be a STEM student in the Brick Township School District. I, on behalf of the entire STEM Academy faculty, want to express our sincere thanks to this remarkable group of students. Congratulations to the inaugural STEM Academy graduates. I hope you stay in touch with us and keep us updated on your future successes that we know await you.
You're right. There's nothing more lovely. There's nothing more profound than the certainty that all of this will end. That all of this will end. So open your arms to me, open your arms to me. This will be the one moment that matters, and this will be the one thing we remember, and this will be the reason to admit it, and this will be the one moment that matters at all. So while the mud reclaims our footprints, and while our bones keep looking back, the overgrowth is swallowing the path. Therefore the grace of God go we. Therefore the grace of God go we. Therefore the grace of time and chance and entropy's cruel hands. So open your arms to me, open your arms to me. This will be the one moment that matters, and this will be the one thing we remember, and this will be the reason to admit it, and this will be the one moment that matters at all. So won't you stay here with me, and we'll feel it till we blister our hands. So won't you stay here with me, and we'll build us some temples, we'll build us some castles, we'll build us some monuments, and burn them all right down. So open your arms to me, open your arms to me. This will be the one moment that matters, and this will be the one thing we remember, and this will be the reason to admit it, and this will be the one moment that matters. So just stay here with me, until we blister our hands. This will be the one thing we remember. So just stay here with me, we'll build us some temples, we'll build us some castles, we'll build us some monuments. This will be the one moment that matters, and this will be the one moment that matters at all.
I would now like to introduce our next and final speaker this evening, valedictorian of the Brick Memorial High School class of 2020, Ryan Jeffroy.
Hello, my name is Ryan Jeffroy, and I'm honored to be speaking here today and representing the Brick Memorial High School class of 2020. First and foremost, I'd like to congratulate my fellow classmates for making it to graduation. The road to this point may have been full of twists, turns, and uncertainty, but we made it here nonetheless. I'd like to thank our teachers, guidance counselors, administrators, and families for their unwavering support through our journeys, especially during these extenuating circumstances. And a special thank you to my parents, brothers, and other family and friends who have always believed in me. Traditionally, graduation speeches are focused on the future and addressing the many paths graduates will take after achieving this milestone. However, I'd like to celebrate our achievements as a class by taking a trip down memory lane. I see no better way to commemorate our journey through grade school than recounting the highs and lows of our shared experiences. In September of 2008, the class of 2020 entered the first grade. In a time just after the release of the first iPhone and prior to High School Musical 3, we trembled at the thought of entering a new school full of unfamiliar faces. We soon found our friends and interests, and a school that we were once afraid of became our second home for 5 years. During this time, we grew together, began the foundations of our education, and traded silly bands at recess. We had teachers that left lifelong impacts on us and made friendships that have lasted to this day. Seemingly in the blink of an eye, we parted ways with elementary school and middle school was upon us. A whole new world full of hundreds of new peers, lockers, and intimidating 8th graders loomed ahead. Unknowingly, childhood was coming to a close as the Jonas Brothers broke up and a road to adolescence was beginning. But again, we persevered as we adapted to rotating class schedules, more rigorous classwork, and the torture that was Wellness Wednesday. We bonded at half-eps and ice skating, but divided when Vets Day rolled around or on Ask FM. Yet again, we became comfortable at the top of the food chain as 8th graders. But it was time to pack away the Cougars gear and become Mustangs. We can now attest to the fact that high school does fly by. It feels like just yesterday we were at our first football games at the top of the student section or dancing at our first homecoming. In a time where everyone ate in green calf and navigating the many halls of Brick Memorial was a challenge, there was no shortage of new experiences to be had. Just as memorable as these first impressions are our final moments as Mustangs. Whether it be senior night at a final sporting event, a last club meeting, or even the last time waiting in line in the senior lot, these moments are burned in our memories. I'm sure everyone can recall their last day of school in person, unknowingly roaming the halls of Brick Memorial for the last time as students. But between all these first and last impressions are incredible experiences that need to be acknowledged. We strengthened friendships that are sure to last a lifetime and bonded with teachers and faculty that have supported our every endeavor. These past 4 years alongside our fellow Mustangs have shaped us into the young adults we are today and have given us the tools and support needed to pursue our future ventures. As our time in high school comes to a close, we must say our goodbyes and set out into a world full of unknowns to create even more lasting memories. No matter the path you choose, never forget your time at Brick Memorial, and remember that it's always a great day to be a Mustang. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. I would now like to introduce Brick Memorial High School administrators, Mr. Stephen Ferrulo, Ms. Meredith Hudson, Mr. Edward Sarluca, and Ms. Jane Van Nosdal, who will begin the announcement of the graduates of the class of 2020.
Nicole Acasella, Sean Adams, Isabella Alec, Anthony S. Albanese, Shelby Taylor Albankis, Jennifer C. Allen, Dean Alton, Christopher Michael Amador, Oliver Amarante, Madison Andrews, Brian Ankney, Jose Omar Arden Rodriguez, Ashley Asante, Kristen Allissi, Benjamin Otwater, Alec Avalenda, Thomas Bachelder, Daphne Taylor Baldwin, Natalie Rose Barneman, Amanda Ann Barry, Samantha Michelle Barry, Erica Nicole Bartholomew, Laura Lee E. Barton, Victoria Bat Iato, Corey Francis Beal, Jordan Bowdwin, Sean Beck, Jessica Lena Bellardino, Jennifer Berenger. Joseph Bashirs. Zahe Billingsley. Kyle Blair. Shelby Bodner. Jack Bogan. Rachel Isabel Boname. Thomas J. Bremer. Rihanna Madison Bresnan. Jashanti Renice Brooks. Megan Alice Brown. Nicholas Peter Brezkowski. Sydney Buckley. Joseph Cabanero. Jeremy Campbell. Connor James Canfield. Mia Jean Caprioni. Emily Elizabeth Carr. Melissa Grace Carter. Julia Anna Carty. David Castillo Vargas. Sarah Frances Cawley. Carolyn Maureen Chambers. Brandon N. Chow. Emily Ciencia. Nicholas John Cifredella. Donovan Michael Salino. Michael William Benjamin Seco. Caitlin Elizabeth Clayton. Kyle E. Klein. Anjanea Lila Cole. Kelly Cole. Azariah Elaine Coleman. John C. Coleman. Jake Collins. Joseph Christian Cologne. Jacqueline Cook. Jason E. Cook. Jameer Kamir Cooper Chapman. Takira Nicole Adesane Corbett. Jacob Gilbert Corbley. Joseph Thomas Costello. Olivia Costello. Courtney Marie Crosby. Erica Adrine Cucarulo. Arwin Grace Curtis. Justin Paul Jakowski. Frederick Thomas Diambola Seabacker. Nicholas Gerard DeSico. Gabriel Alexander DeLeon. Erica Renee DiMatteo. Zach DiPietro. Justin DeRosa. Dominic DeLugos. Nicholas J. Donofrio. Cara Elizabeth DeRose. Nicholas Blaze Doubt. Jack Ryan Douglas. Madeline Doyle. Montserrat M. Elizondo Montoya. Sierra Rose Emmett, Jared Erickson, Jace Evans, Michael Axel Felice, Nayeli Fernandez Vasquez, Nicholas Ferrone, Maximo Fiola, Larry Lee Fonville III, Marla Jillian Forfar, Jackson G. Forsyth, Jade M. Forsyth, Brianne Foster, Tara Catherine Foster, Jessica Ann Fowler, Logan Spencer Fraser, Eric's Michael Freeman, Sean Thomas Fritz, Clarence M. Foon,
Cole Gardella, Ryan Jeffroy, Daniel Gerard, Nicholas Ryan Gillen, Leo Gilman, Laura Lynn Goldrick, Angelina Gonzalez, Nicholas William Good, Jimmy Tyler Goodman, Gina Marie Gorlewski, Kristen Ashley Greaves, Stephanie Gillen, Marissa Hahn, Anaya Amani Harris, Ian Gregory Hawker, James William Hegerich, Alexandra Marla Hellinghausen, Nicholas Hellinghausen, Daniel Henderson, Alex Myron Herbert, Christian Perry, James Herzig, Alexa Higgins, Joseph Charles Higgins, Kevin Christopher Hildebrandt, Nicholas Joseph Hoy, Danny Elise Hortzman, Manuel Huyapaya, Shay Houston, Antonio Thomas Iannuzzi, Kelsey Ippolito, Makai Irving, Logan Alexander Jacques, Kathleen Kelly Jankowski, Erin Jaspin, Armando Jimenez, Cameron Drew Johnson, Faith Georgina Johnson, Tyra Simone Jones, Osley Joseph, Alan Juarez, Madison Julian, Brian Kesmarek, Justin P. Cardam, Amani Kemp, Brianna Kiasco, Courtney Kirkisner, Ryan Knox, Brianna Hope Koval, Alex Kramer, Abigail Rose Ladness, Katie Ann Lapointe, Carvinston Lavrin, Jillian Lazari, Naomi Ledwin,
Salvatore Lepore,
Cassidy K. Letcher, David William Lewis II, Joseph Libator,
Cynthia Lynn,
Jack Joseph Patterson Lithicum, Yasmin Lipke,
Alexa Nicole Lucarelli,
Amber N. Lund,
Liam Gil Magner, Victoria M. Magnuson, Maxwell James Mahaffey, Stephanie Malukowicz, Jalen D. Mann, Ashley Adams Marabo, Angelina L. Martin, Kaylee Rose Martin, Greta Martz, Alexia May, Brianna McBride, Connor Patrick McCabe, Ryan Joseph McCombs, Mark William McDermott, Madeline Rose McWiggin, Jade Manheit, John Merklin III, Jillian Rose Meyerly, Matthew James Mealy, Leah Georgiana Miller, Madison Rose Miller, Molly Lynn Monahan, Zachary Moran, Nicholas Moreno, Priscilla Marino, Kyle Patrick Mueller, Robert Muller, Vincent Edward Munoz, Megan Leanne Murphy, Megan Musto, Connor Nace, Madison Page Nagel, Michael Allen Napolitano, Derek John Norby, Edwin Nativ Dodd, Marilyn Nativ Dodd, Stephen Richard Nevulis, Trent William Nevulis, Skylie Grace Elizabeth Nixon, Kwamir Norwood, Matthew Nugent, Dominic Ochiogrosso, Justin O'Donnell, Logan Connor Olds, Samantha Marie Oliveira, Oluwashola Emmanuel Oni, Christopher M. Osipovich, Nikki Rose Owen, Michael Richard Pascal, Noah C. Pastor, Druhin Patel, Angela Grace Patton, Stephen Paxton Barcelona, Beauty Peace, Heath Alexander Pierce, Rafael Perez, Jake Stephen Pito, Anthony Michael Petrosino, Jenna Rose Pfister, Curtis Jordan Plowden, Joseph L. Podesta III, Jessica Marie Poremski, Jolene Prendergast, Catherine Quackenboss, JC Liliana Ramirez, Justin Matthew Peter Ravioli, Nicholas Ravioli, Emily Ann Ray, Aaron James Riley Jr., Alyssa Chloe Rayo, Amaya Marie Reyes, Jaden Reyes, Emily Elizabeth Reynolds, Kiara Marie Richards, Michael Richardson, Megan Marie Rimmer, Alexa Rivera, Brianna M. Rodriguez, Jaden Angel Rodriguez, Luke R. Rodriguez, Alexandra Rodriguez Perez, Karina Marie Rutger, Conrad Rogers, Justine Lynn Romaine, Katie Lynn Rosenfeld, Jayla Ross, Rebecca Sadie Roth, Catherine Rowe,
Hannah Salama, Christopher Salinas, Madison Ray Salisbury, Caitlin Salvia, Malia Savoya, Jordan Scaparata, Kaylee Rose Schachtel, Julia R. Schaefer, Jenna Marie Schissel, Madison Elizabeth Schissel, Taylor Marie Schweering, Nicole A. Scott, Gage L. Scully, Jasmine Kalia Ajane Seabrooks Hale, Alexander Patrick Stankoleski,
Albert Serrano Jr.,
Ashanti Joanne Serrano, Tristan Michael Anthony Serrano, Kevin Shea, Brielle Shekon, Jack Andrew Shepard, Samantha Mary Shornack, Lindsay Shornock, Douglas Walter Shropshire, Ashley Silva Diaz, Jessica Slobisky, Amanda Grace Smith, Jacqueline M. Smith, Jacqueline Lorraine Soden, Brianna Solomon, Genesis Rosita Sosa, Michael Dante Spinola, Anthony Christopher Speciale, Cameron Springer, Mason Springer, Zachary R. Springer, Daniel Spraszewski, Sabrina Rose Stanislawczyk, Zachary M. Stansberry,
Declan Stapleton,
Devin Stapleton, Stacy Jacqueline Steele, Brooke A. Stevens, Corinne D. Stevenson, Sydney Stoughton, Olivia Ann Strother, Logan Christopher Sturtevant, Christopher Damian Suarez, Eduardo E. Suarez, Luis Anthony Suarez, Austin Swenson, Jessica L. Swider, John Peter Sykes, Frank LaRue Tenbrook V, Joseph Turkelson, Matthew Turkelson, Connor Thigpen, Brandon Michael Thomas, Ian Thomas, James Thornley, Aaliyah Thorpe, Braden Christopher Ty, Priscilla Amanda Tyrone, Frank Michael Tobia, Dylan Torres, Joshua Emery Toscano, Audrey Genevieve Toth, Jason Patrick Townley, Connor William Trotweiler, Alexandra Marie Treddy, Jessica Erin Tremmel, John Troncone, Brandon Allen Trapolo, Julia Lynn Truisi, Colin Charles Turner, Cassandra Elizabeth Terso, Aizer Francisco Uceta, Connor Underwood, Nicholas John Vigaro, Natalie Rose Valente, Nerea Valentine, Evelyn Voss, Andrea Vasquez, Matthew David Vella, Gianna Birdie, Jordan Elizabeth Vigiano, Janai Villasenor, Samantha Viola, Jared Visser, Dominic Michael Vatone, Julia Taylor Vogel, Alec Van Mollendorf, Justin Christopher Bunick, Giselle Yvette Washam, Jake Lawrence Watson, Austin John Werner, Andrew Arthur White, Jake T. White, Brian Harrison White, Philip Thomas Wilkins, Nasir Anthony Williams, Brendan Michael Wilsey, Jake Paxton Winstead, Christopher Joseph Wozniak, Danielle Catherine Wright, Jenna Paige Ronco, Alexander Warmser, Sarah Constance Wimes, Gavin Montgomery Young, Anthony Zamora, Brian Zamora, Ryan Zweier.
I would now like to call on our officers of the class of 2020 to lead their classmates in the turning of the tassel while I confer their diplomas. At this time, it is my honor to present to you the class of 2020. I certify that today's graduates have met all of the New Jersey State and Brick Township Board of Education requirements and have earned recognition as graduates of the class of 2020. Congratulations, graduates. You may now turn your tassels.
Something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Thank you all for being here with us this evening. On behalf of the entire Brick Township school community, I hope that you have enjoyed our virtual commencement ceremony and that you and your loved ones are safe in these difficult times. In closing, I'd like to leave you with our virtual recessional. From the music to the video, the slideshow you are about to see was designed by our seniors of the class of 2020 who chose to express who they were, who they are, and who they plan to be. I hope you enjoy it, and I wish you a good evening.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on part of God's great big family. And the truth, you know, love is all we need. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. Well, send them your heart so they know that someone cares, and their life will be stronger and free, as God has shown us by turning stone to bread. And so we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Oh, there's a choice we're making. We're saving our lives. Get through and make a better day. Just you and me. We've only just begun to live. White lace and promises, a kiss for luck and we're on our way.
We've only begun.
Before the rising sun we fly. So many roads to choose.
Don't make your mark. You've been through a lot.
We
You got
start
this.
walking and learn to run.
And yes, we've just begun.
Sharing horizons that are new to us.
Congratulations. Way to go.
Watching
Now go
the
get 'em.
signs along the way. Talking it over, just the two of us. Working together day to day. Together. And when the evening comes, we smile. So much of life ahead.
Congratulations.
We'll find a place where there's room to grow.
And yes, we've just begun.
Sharing horizons that are new to us. Watching the signs along the way. Talking it over, just the two of us. Working together day to day. Together. Together.
Congrats, 2020. Be you.
And when the evening comes, we smile. So much of life ahead.
Buena suerte.
We'll find a place where there's room to grow. And yes, we've just begun.
Good luck, Mustang.
Congratulations and good luck.
As we go on, we remember all the times we had together. And as our lives change from whatever, we will still be friends forever. So if we get the big jobs and we make the big money, when we look back now, will our jokes still be funny? Will we still remember everything we learned in school? Still be trying to break every single rule? Will little brainy Bobby be the stockbroker man? Can he ever find a job that won't interfere with the tan? I keep thinking that it's not goodbye. Keep on thinking it's our time to fly. And this is how it feels. As we go on, we remember all the times we had together. And as our lives change from whatever, we will still be friends forever.
Congratulations.
Friends forever.
Congratulations, class of 2020.
Will we think about tomorrow like we think about now? Can we survive it out there? Can we make it somehow? I guess I thought that this would never end. And suddenly it's like we're women and men. Will